17 advantage in the fourth set and was that close to pushing it to a possible fifth. And of course, if you get to a fifth set, anything can happen. Was not meant to be, though, and so Hawaii out for a little bit of payback tonight. Hanaho rematch underway, and the first serve by Darius McCraven drifts long, and that will get this sold-out crowd roaring immediately. The Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineups scrolling at the bottom of your screen for the second straight night. Christian Satriski out with that ankle injury for Hawaii, and so Finn Kearney, the 6'5" lefty freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, getting his second straight start at opposite. The serve by Tread Rosenthal is a good one. That set goes to Daniil Kirstinovic, and he sends it into the string. So Hawaii with that first serve, pulling the setter Moni Nikolov off the net, and good things happening.
You think they heard my keys to the game, Kanoa?
I think they did.
I said get off to a quicker start. Here it is, 2-0. Who would have thought? Last night was terrible in the first two sets.
So 2 serving 0. Another good serve there by Rosenthal. Nikolov chases it down, sets up Skylar Varga. Diving save along the back line by Louis Sakanoko. Here's Kearney. Cross-court and down. Hawaii scores the first 3 of the match.
And that, once again, was Satriski-like. Terminating that rally with a nice wrist-away shot against a very good and well-formed block, I might say.
Finn went for a season, thus career-high 17 kills on 38 swings last night. 3 serving 0, and that serve is going to be some trouble here for the Beach. They're going to have to send a freebie over the net. Big advantage for Hawaii. Rosenthal outside, Adrian Rohr got the touch. Hawaii gets the point, and it is 4-0 Rainbow Warriors. And Long Beach State is going to signal for an early timeout.
University of Hawaii.
Inside, the numbers presented by Long's Drugs. The number is 30. 30. That's the point differential all-time between Long Beach State and Hawaii in the 34 Knight versus Wade matches since 2010. That's right. Look at all those points, and the differential just 30.
That's amazing. We got to give some credit to Steve Jackson, the guy who counted all those points.
One by one, yes. This is the 102nd meeting between these two storied programs. Long Beach State with the slight lead. Hawaii, though, with the advantage 30-17 in Honolulu. But the Beach won last night in 4. Good pump set there to Varga. He gets blocked back. It'll drift tight to the net, and Moni Nikolov, ever the improv setter, able to just push Tinket down for the point, and Long Beach State off the schneid.
For the 5th time in a row, Hawaii brought Moni off the net, so they're serving off to a good start, thanks to Tread Rosenthal.
So here's Moni Nikolov for the first time this season last night. Played a whole match without recording an ace. Louis Sakanoko handles that one. Back set, Adrian Rohr, 2 blockers up, and it doesn't matter. He tells them to pound sand, and it's 5-1 Rainbow Warriors.
There's my favorite sign in the arena. He's French, you're toast. Oh, Adrian. He's ready.
He was solid last night. 12 kills, hit 375. 5 serving 1. Nikolov with options, goes backside. And a solo stop. Louis Sakanoko saying au contraire, mon frère.
Hawaii's going to need to do a lot of one-on-one blocking, I think, is how deceptive Moni Nikolov is.
6 serving 1, and into the net it goes. That was an issue for Hawaii throughout the match last night. They committed 17 service errors, and it wasn't just the amount of errors, it was also the timing of those errors.
Exactly. And Roar had 5 of those errors.
Rosenthal going outside. Here's Louis down the line, but he misses wide. And so Long Beach State gets the point. Louis had a late miss in that 4th set last night. Tried to take the same down the line angle.
Well, he got a good swing at that. Missed by inches.
So 3 serving 6. It's Varga. Again, it skips off the tape. Pass by Eleu Choi. Back row, it's Roar. That one off the block. Straight up in the air. So Kearney taking a swing. Nikolov centers it. And then it goes down on the Hawaii side. Are you for real? Nikolov chasing it down out of the official scorer's table. And his fellow countryman, freshman Alex Kondev, able to deposit it.
He still had 1 foot on the playing surface, so it was legal.
And it's 4 serving 6. And it's an ace by Varga. And Long Beach State has stormed back. They have scored 4 in a row.
Varga does a nice little cut on this shot. Lots of open court on that right side. He's serving, arguably Hawaii's best passer, but not even the great Adrian Roar could pass that one.
That one drifts long, though, but that was the 24th ace of the year for Skylar Varga. Long Beach State, in large part because of Moni Nikolov's exploits behind the service line, they're tops in the nation in aces per set. They average 2.3 aces per set. And now Kurt Neusterer, one of the guys who will be honored at the conclusion of this match here. It is senior night. He has a year of eligibility, but he is going to enter his professional field of finance. Backside, Krstanovic gets it down. How good was this guy last night, C-Mac? 17 kills on 33 attempts. He hit 364.
He was just unstoppable. The only flaw in his game last night was he had 4 service errors. The rest was really pretty perfect.
Middle set, Ofek Hazan blocked and roofed. Not for a lack of effort there by Eleu Choi, but Ofek Hazan, who was a sub last night mid-match, ended up playing pretty well and providing a bit of a spark for Hawaii, but he gets denied there, and we effectively start over 7-all. Backside, here's Kearney. And he got the touch, and Hawaii gets the point. Oh, Finn looking extra bouncy here at the onset of this match.
He looked good in warm-ups, too. I knew he'd have a good match. And it's coming to be true. How about McCraven getting that block solo on Ofek Hazan, the Honolulu graduate?
He's a senior for Long Beach State. Hazan retrieves that one. Outside, it's Sakanoko, blocked back, punched up in the air by Choi. So Roar trying to set up Louis. May have been an out ball there, saved by Varga. Varga from the back row, that was a little off point. So here is Kearney. And he lights it up.
Wow. What a great foot adjustment by Kearney. I'm not sure he was expecting to see that set. Last second, it came to him. And a connection that has been going on for the last 3 years in the U19 world of USA Volleyball between Rosenthal and Kearney.
Krstanovic off the block. Rosenthal saving it, but it hovers up there, and it is annihilated by Darius McCraven. You just talked about him, C-Mac, in his 3rd year with Long Beach out of Moanalua High School. Went to Orange Coast College before matriculating over there to play for the Beach, and he has just continued to develop and improve every year. Now a staple in that middle position as the serve goes long there by Krstanovic, and Hawaii up 2.
Notice the absence of challenges. We had 3 challenges by this time last night.
Hey, don't talk too soon here. 10 serve and 8.
They're too easy in that serve.
And yes, you're absolutely right. Alex Kondev with the hammer. 3.1 kills per set on the season, hitting .508, but he was used sparingly until the injury to Sotiris Sapanis, and since then, over the last 4 matches, he's averaging 3.9 kills per set. Had 3 aces last night as well. That was a heck of a pass by Sakonoko, but a heck of a block by McCraven, jumping up next to Nikolov to deny Adrian Rohr, and we're tied at 10.
Alan Knight was telling me earlier this week that McCraven is just a great read blocker. He's smallish at 6'5", but great hops and very athletic.
Pass by Sakonoko, gonna overpass to the waiting hand of Moni Nikolov, who slams it down. And that is the first lead here for Long Beach State. Hawaii led by 5 at one point. It was 6-1 here to start this set. Moni Nikolov, who also averages 1.6 kills per set. Very offensive-minded setter, one of the most dynamic setters we've seen. Kondev, that one skips off the tape. Outside, it's Rohr, and the block is up. Moni Nikolov just putting up the wall. He is listed at 6'8". I think we have concluded that's probably a somewhat conservative measurement. He's got those long arms. Hawaii with a timeout. Don't miss a second of the action. Watch Spectrum Sports on the go. The Spectrum News app has the local sports you love and the news and weather that matter most to you. Download today on the App Store or Google Play. And I guess no better time than now to wish our own Trent Darley there with all the lay the best of luck as he unfortunately leaves our crew taking a job at Hawaiian Airlines. So we will be seeing him hopefully in the skies somewhere at some point in time. But yeah, best to you, Trent. Meanwhile, an out serve there by Long Beach State out of the timeout, and Hawaii, which led 6-1 to start this first frame, now trailing by 1. Ofek Hazan with the jump floater. That one touched over by Kondev, but miscommunication between Rohr and Neusterer. And those are the kinds of moments, those are the kinds of miscues you just cannot afford to have when you're playing against the #1 team in the country.
Yeah, that's so well said, Kanawata. You just cannot make mistakes against this team that is so deep, so skilled.
Ryan Peluso, serving sub who had 2 aces last night, forces the overpass and a little roll reversal there, as it was Moni Nikolov, the recipient of the assist. And he rips it down, and it's 14-11 Long Beach State.
And Skylar Varga did a nice job of improvising there.
Serve goes long by Caluso. Alan Knight talking about how well his team served last night.
Caluso had 2 aces, by the way.
He did. And their percentages were a little bit better than maybe what they've done throughout the season on the average night. As you take a look at Alan Knight in his 22nd year. Has coached 6 National Player of the Years. As that serve by Rosenthal goes into the net, and that gets Long Beach State to 15 first in the first. Timeout on the floor.
Get ready for the
Tomorrow, beach volleyball, Rainbow Wahine taking on Grand Canyon. It is senior night, and we will have coverage for you here on Spectrum Sports. 6:30 p.m. is when that starts. Tred's sister, Kaysen Rosenthal, who is a member of the Wahine Beach team, in the stands. Back set goes to Adrian Rohr as we rejoin live action, and he's able to tool the block. Hawaii playing from behind here. They were doing a lot of that through the first 2 sets last night.
They're pretty much used to that. Not hitting for a good percentage right now, hitting 0.77 as a team. Normally they're hitting around 330, so they've got to pick up that. Rohr hitting 0 right now.
And that's an ace for Adrian Rohr. It hits the end line, at least that's the call. Well, it was the call by the line judge. Immediately, Alan Knight went to challenge the call, but I think it was already overruled by the top official, Troy Gravitt. So line judge had it in. It was overruled, and so Alan Knight didn't need to issue a challenge. Now Charlie Wade may be considering challenging that in-out call. Officials, by the way, Troy Gravitt, the R1. You see Wayne Lee there, the R2 in your picture. Hunter Heleniak and Randy Rubinall, the line judges. And so the call on the floor officially an out ball, and Charlie Wade has decided to challenge it. Oh, we had a whole lot of challenges throughout the 4 sets last night.
Let's see if we can see if this ball catches any white and all. Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, if it did, it is by the slimmest of margins there. Not sure if there's enough, at least with our angle, to overturn the call.
Hawkeye would have called that by now, just so you know. Just saying. It would have happened 3 seconds after the ball went down.
Well, feel free to sponsor the establishment of the Hawkeye video system here in the arena.
It would just cost me my pension. That's all. Not my pension, my whole retirement. I don't have a pension. But you know, I was talking to Andy Reid earlier. The volunteer coach of 28 years of Long Beach State. He got to actually coach. There he is right there. He has to coach at the international level at the VNL, which is almost like the Olympics. It's like big time volleyball national championships. And he said that it is so fast. There's a 15-second clock for serving. There are no line judges at all. Everything's done by Hawkeye. And Charlie Wade would like to have Hawkeye, I think. That's for sure. But it does cost a bunch of money.
Well, the call stands. So it is 16 serving 13. And it is Skylar Varga with the serve, and he serves it into the net. Yeah, you wonder, right? I mean, of course, in a perfect world, you'd have all the technology that would allow for the faster reviews to take place. But you wonder, because of what does tend to transpire in those reviews, if that breaks up some of the momentum, like right there for Skylar Varga.
Absolutely.
Works like a timeout.
It's like calling a timeout, yeah.
For Nusterer, that one tickles the tape. Nikolov going outside, and that one bounces off the Terraflex. Alex Kondev.
That ball was set so fast to the outside. A different tempo than the Rainbow middle blockers have seen all year long. Nikolov just fired it out there.
Kondev, a true frosh. Top scorer for the Bulgarian U19 national team at the World Championships. As that serve by Georgi Bainev goes long. He's another Bulgarian on this roster. They have 4 total. Hawaii, of course, with one of its own, and Christian Tatrisky, who is out with the ankle injury. A good look at Charlie Wade. Year 16. Hawaii with its 14th 20-win season, all-time 7th under Charlie at 22-4. Long Beach State 24-1 this year. Middleset, that's McCraven hanging and banging. And so this is really feeling, aside from the hot start for Hawaii, really feeling like what the first 2 sets last night felt like, where Long Beach State had a lead of about 2 or 3, and Hawaii never could quite chase them down. Of course, they found their form a little bit in the 3rd set, but this is kind of feeling like what we saw early on last night. Here's Connor Bloom from Huntington Beach, California. Redshirt junior on the serve. D-set goes to Kearney, and he gets blocked. It's rattled around. It'll be returned. Nikolov going D-set himself to Bloom. Good chase down, second touch there by Sakonoko, and we play on. Nikolov outside. Kondev off the block, saved by Louis. Set goes back to Sakonoko, and he finds the floor.
This place just erupts because of the uniqueness and length of that rally.
It was Ofek Hazan who ultimately got that assist, but Sakonoko was all over the creation, keeping that thing alive. 16 serving 18. The pass there by Varga. Outside, Kondev blocked back. Bump set back to Kondev. 3 blockers load up. It's dug up over the net by Troy. Nikolov on 2. Goes off the Hawaii resistance and out. I mean, just when you think you got everybody accounted for, number 1 calls his own number.
Yeah, he is so good. You know, he's their setter, but some people say that setting is his biggest skill. He's a better digger, better server, better blocker.
There's Kondev. Diving pass there by Rohr. Rosenthal chased down on the bump set. Rohr against a triple block, and he misses wide, no touch. And so Long Beach State gets to the 20-point mark. Largest lead here in this first frame for the Beach. And Charlie Wade going to signal for a timeout.
Hey, volleyball fans, it's time for the Ultras finest side. Tonight,
Hawaii hitting 118 here in this set. On the other side, Long Beach State, 429.
You can't be out-hit by 300 points and expect to win.
Moni Nikolov right now tied with Alex Kondev as the top hitters for Long Beach State. Yeah, he's the setter. They each have 4 kills. All right, let's send it over to Ryan Kalei-Suji. Who you got for us, Ryan?
Hey, thanks, Kunal. Well, we are here in the stands. Of course, it's senior night, so we like to catch up with some of the parents. Joining me now is Carrie Nusserer, Kurt's mom. What has this experience been like for you to see your son not only grow as a volleyball player, but as a person being a part of this program?
Oh, as a parent, it's just been a blast to see him come out here. I'll say you can take the boy out of Indiana, and it's been good to see a little bit of Indiana taken out of the boy. People here have just been so incredibly welcoming and really have brought him into their hearts. It's lovely.
You know, a lot of people would have loved to see Kurt play one more year, but he's decided to move on. What do you think as a parent? You know, you've got to be so proud that your son is choosing to close this chapter, but starting an exciting new one.
You know, as a parent, you want to cheer your kid on no matter what they do. We would have loved to see him have another year at Hawaii. But when he was applying for internships, the internships didn't work out, but somebody said, go for the full-time job. You're going to be a graduate anyways. It was a long shot, and it worked out. So we're going to be really sorry for this to end, and I know Kurt is too. But we're really excited to cheer him on as he goes to work.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the match.
Thank you. Thanks, Marty.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan, as we join live action out of the timeout. Varga with the quick hop. Hawaii working the advantage. Now they go D-set. It's Kearney cross court, dug up by Hrstanovic. He gets the set back and is able to crack it through the Hawaii block. Yeah, so getting back to Kurt Nooster, was great to hear from his mom, and Kurt getting a plum job with Goldman Sachs. And so it's just an opportunity too good to pass up. And while I'm sure it's going to be bittersweet for him passing up that last year of eligibility on the volleyball court, what an opportunity, and we will wish him the best of luck. Hopefully there's much more volleyball to be played this year before he makes that official move, though.
He'd like to play a lot more volleyball, that's for sure. There's a lot of incentive for him to lengthen this season.
Kondev shows his humanity from the service line there on that last attempt. Here's Kainoa Wade, 17 serving 21. Nikolov goes middle, it's McCraven. And Long Beach State offensively having its way right now in this first set. It's 22-17. And McCraven with 3 kills, no errors. Kondev 4 kills, no errors. Nikolov, the setter, 4 kills, no errors. Here's Nooster. We were just talking about him.
He must have heard us. He had a big block going on there, too. There's Norbert, his dad.
Yeah, his dad.
He's a little camera shy, I think.
We see where Kurt gets it from, obviously. Yeah, his dad, Norbert, played basketball for the Austrian national team. Another service error here for Hawaii, so you're starting to see, again, the ill-timed service errors biting Hawaii when they just start showing signs of momentum, and now they got to deal with this guy, Moni Nikolov. 82 aces on the year. That's tops in the country by a mile. How about that pass by Eleu Choi as he gets knocked over? Roar off the block and out. And so Hawaii gets the point, and Eleu Choi, you have to give him the nod. What he was able to do in serve-receive against Moni Nikolov throughout the match last night was nothing short of exceptional.
He took some shots. I think the last serve was around 75 miles per hour.
Yeah, Nikolov has been known to get up to 80. Meanwhile, the overpass forced by Roar. That works like an ace because Finn Kearney was able to take advantage. Hawaii within 3 here late in the first. 20 serving 23. Another good serve there, but a good pass by Kellen Larson, and the middle set put down by Ben Braun. Braun had 5 kills, no errors, hit .455 last night, also had a handful of blocks. And it is aloha ball for Long Beach in the first.
You're right, Cano. I got to give a lot of credit to Kellen Larson that time. He took a very tough serve from Adrian Rohr and just put it on the money.
Yeah, just a freshman libero as that serve goes into the twine. Kellen Larson taking over for one of the all-time greats in Mason Briggs.
Those are big shoes to fill, and Larson's done a nice job the last 2 nights. He's been pretty perfect.
Well, here's one of the seniors, Kavai Hong out of Punahou School. Played club volleyball at Santa Clara, won a pair of club league championships. And coming into the game in a big spot here. Gets the serve in. Nikolov with options, goes outside. It is Kondev, cross court and down. It is called in. Charlie Wade, is he considering challenging that? If not, this first set is over, and I think it is. So Long Beach State takes it 25-21. Long Beach hits 500 in the first frame. And after going down 6-1, this crowd in an absolute frenzy. The Beach just got back to work.
Seems like everyone's going home.
So Long Beach State strikes first. They take set one, 25-21. It is senior night here in the arena. Let's check in with Ryan Kalei-Suji. Ryan.
That's right, making a rounds here in the family section. Joining me now is Jana Weeder, the mother of Clay Weeder. Thanks for taking time to speak to us. Talk about this journey for your son Clay. I mean, he played 4 years at Lindenwood, had one more year left, decided to come here. What was this experience like for him and for you?
Well, it's always been his dream to play here. Since he was in 7th grade, he's watched and followed, knew every player on Hawaii's team. So that, in the beginning, has just been amazing. And so for him to be able to follow through with that dream, and we're just along for the ride. So we've enjoyed getting to know the culture. We love the people here. So it's been amazing.
And what is this crowd like, this sold-out arena?
I can't even explain it. Like this, you know, when we started the beginning of the season, it was one thing and it was a lot. But 10,003, I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. So fun.
Well, enjoy the rest of the match. Thanks for joining us. Back over to you guys.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, hopefully we get a chance to see Clay Weeder, although he's been dealing with a bit of a back issue, so not sure what the probabilities are on that. But, of course, after spending 4 years at Lindenwood in Missouri, where he was a second-team All-MIVA selection last year, he entered the transfer portal, and Charlie Wade said he was the top hitter in the portal, and I knew we had to make it a priority to get him, and so that's what happened. And Yeah, Clay Weeder, who was a starter to open the season as well at the outside hitter position.
He was Mr. Steady and Mr. Maturity, a good leader. The younger players, I think, took to him because he was almost like an uncle more than a teammate. And he's loved it, and the players love him.
So set 2 underway. Fred Rosenthal with the serve. And a good pass there by Kellen Larson. Middle set goes to Braun. Pancake save Rosenthal. Here's Kearney just beyond the end line. That is Finn's first hitting error, as Hawaii was trying to ad-lib through that one.
I don't think that was out by much. He took a good swing at that.
So Kainoa Wade getting the start here for Hawaii. It looks like Finn Kearney has maybe moved back to the left. Kainoa Wade taking over at the opposite hitter position. Here's Kurt Neusterer. And he found that one in the sweet spot. So Kurt Neusterer on senior night with his second kill on as many swings.
When in doubt, just feed a senior. They're adrenalized plenty.
So it looks like Adrian Rohr is the player who is now off the floor for Hawaii with the insertion of Kainoa Wade. One hand back set. How good was that? Skylar Varga, it was hitting lines, no blockers against him, and Moni Nikolov making it look simple.
Yeah. You know, most setters cannot intercept that ball from going over the net. Moni can. So can Tread.
Moni, the younger brother of Alex, who gave Hawaii fans nightmares in his 1 year with Long Beach State. Named the National Player of the Year as a freshman. As Finn Kearney hit it long, no touch. Hawaii clamoring that there was a touch, and so we're going to get a challenge.
Yeah, there was a touch. Back middle. In fact, Long Beach the players started to go back and get back into serve receive because they knew that one of their players touched it. And then all of a sudden, it was ruled in their favor. So now they're re-huddling. All 23 of them.
Yeah, this is a large roster for Allen Knight's squad. Now, things could change, obviously, with the roster limits and scholarship increases for men's volleyball. That's going to put the number at 18, so it'll be a little bit different. But Allen Knight saying, hey, look, you know, for us, we don't mind having that many guys in the practice gym. We feel like it helps us when we are, you know, trying to get as many reps for as many guys. And sometimes you have guys who are sitting, who are maybe on load management strategies. He said the more, in our case, the merrier. See if we can see a touch here.
Right there is the touch. I thought that was going to be the touch by Varga, but I guess it's not. Then there's a touch at the net right there.
Well, your guess is as good as mine here, C-Mac.
Looked like they took the spin off the ball there. And that usually indicates that there might be a touch in the front right there. Oh, yeah, big time touch. Those Kondev got a piece of it. Watch Kondev's left hand bend back.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, watch his left fingers right there. Right there. They bend back. Right there. To me, that's a pretty obvious touch.
Huh. Who needs the Hawkeye system? We have the eagle eyes of Chris McLaughlin.
I'd be surprised if this is not called a touch. Because the referees actually have, don't they have 6 more cameras than we do? So altogether, there's like 10 cameras that they have access to.
Yeah, there's no excuse, right? Yeah. I mean, they got all of the resources necessary. What's the call here?
Touch. Watch this.
Yes, there's the call.
Just send the challenges over to me. I'll take care of it. It'll be a lot faster, more decisive.
I mean, you're already wearing a light blue shirt, albeit with the Aloha print on it.
That's
but
right.
You would fit in very well with the rest of the officials.
Oh, funny.
2 serving 2 here now due to that one challenge by Charlie Wade. And Neuster pumps it long.
It's like a timeout. Ice is the server.
Your thoughts on the lineup that we have out there for Hawaii? With Charlie bringing in Kainoa, moving Finn over to the left.
Yeah, I had heard that Adrian was not completely 100% physically.
Here's Wade. He's able to plug it through the block and down. Kainoa with his first kill. The 6'10 freshman out of Kamehameha Kapalama, two-time state player of the year. Has been primarily a service sub for Hawaii, but when he has been out there in a hitting role, he has played pretty well at times.
Yeah, he has.
And one of their more...
Pretty good server, too. Look at it, forced off the net.
Yeah, one of their steadier servers from an efficiency standpoint. However, it's Alex Kondev going back to work. That's going to be an interesting dilemma for Alan Knipe if and when Sotirios Chapanis gets back to full health. If there is any kind of decision there to be made with the lineup regarding Kondev. Hrstanovic. What a punch up there by Wade. And Hawaii going to have to send a freebie over the net. Nikolov, he's going to swing. A ferocious attack. Goes off of the Hawaii blocker and out.
I'd say one of the biggest challenges for Hawaii right now is that Finn Kearney's back playing on the outside, which means he passes in all 6 rotations. Something he's not really used to because he played opposite last night. Didn't pass at all, except once in a while when they passed 4 men.
What a pass there by Sakanoko. Back row, it's Kearney, and he misses, tried to go wrist away. And so Long Beach State has scored 3 in a row. They're up 6-3. Yeah, Moni Nikolov, you just see him swing. I mean, he could be an All-American opposite or outside hitter.
Easily.
And here he is playing setter, and it's something that Alan Knipe and Charlie Wade have talked about as being part of the evolution of the setter position as that serve goes long. Alan Knipe telling us, usually, and he says he's had to change his philosophy and view on this because of Moni Nikolov and his unique skill set. He says usually the biggest, most physical guy walks into the gym, there's your opposite hitter. In this case, there's your setter.
Yeah, he is so good. Last night after the game, he could barely get to the bus. Everybody was stopping him for a picture.
Yeah. What a set, what a block. Finn Kearney saying, ole. 1-on-1 against Daniil Hrstanovic.
And not very often has Hrstanovic been stopped in the last 24 hours. He's been so good. Kudos to Kearney.
And it is 5 serving 6 here in set 2.
Too easy.
Nikolov going high and away. Kondev! Access denied! Trent Rosenthal!
Another guy who hasn't been stopped much in the last 24 hours is Kondev. All of a sudden, here comes Trent Rosenthal with a terrific block solo. By the way, block one-on-one advantage hitter all the time. So for Hawaii to get 2 block solos back-to-back, very unusual.
6 serving 6. Louis skips it off the net. Bumps at Nikolov, goes nowhere. Kondev loops it over. Advantage Hawaii. Rosenthal, D-set, Wade! That was pulverized!
That brought some fans to their feet. Great swing by Kainoa Wade, the Kamehameha Kapalama graduate.
Yeah, that reached decibel levels that we have not seen all year.
Yeah.
Sakanoko going for it as Hawaii took its first lead of this second set. Now tied at 7. And again, those moments of momentum building up only to be upended by a service error.
Once again, let's see how the passing trio of the Sakanoko, Choi, and Kearney do. Oh, nice pass by Choi.
And over on 2 goes Tread. The sleight of hand has Hawaii back up 1.
So Eleu Choi's getting picked on a lot, but he's answering the call.
There is Eleu's mom, Terry. His sister, Bailey.
Dad, Barney, right there.
Barney. The whole fam, the whole Hana. Back row, Kondev. Not a blocker in sight, and he found that deep corner. Kondev up to 7 kills. He's hitting .545.
Again, they haven't dropped much in talent level from Shapanis to Kondev.
That one just crawls over the net. So on one knee, Rosenthal sets up Finn, and he goes cross court and in. How about this mid-match adjustment that Finn Kearney has to make here,
That's
C-Mac?
really challenging. Great question, Canoa. It's really challenging for him to all of a sudden now be hitting on the left, having to pass all 6 rotations, and Finn hit it in.
That's right. Nikolov, he hit it in. At least that was the call. I think the Hawaii players and a lot of the fans disagree. Are we going to get a challenge? Charlie Wade is going to challenge it. So he's going to challenge the in-out call there. And again, you can't make any kind of determination or draw any conclusion based on this, but the in masse immediate reaction by the Hawaii players makes you think that maybe this was out, but the video evidence will tell the story. Ooh.
Looks out right there. That looked out.
That is so awfully close.
Let's see. Does it catch any white?
It was
no
or
white.
in by a hair.
That's out. I'm telling you right now, just bring the challenge thing over to me right now. I'll make the call. We'll get back to playing
now,
as soon as possible.
It should be stated the call on the floor was in, and so you have to overturn that. There has to be conclusive enough evidence to overturn the call, but C-Mac, I like this very definitive stance that you're taking here tonight on these reviews.
I know, I'm usually wishy-washy on it because it's so blurry. I don't have astigmatism like you do, so you can make the call easier than I can. But when it's clear like that, I'm pretty good. I've got 20/20 vision.
Wayne Lee taking a long, hard look at this.
How long did I take to make that? Was it 15, 16 seconds? And I was, boom, done.
Funny little exchange across the way. Charlie and Alan kind of joking about the crowd reaction from, I think, what was a replay of that play, a slow motion replay that played overhead, which it's not supposed to, right? That was an unintentional error there to allow the fans to see the replay, but the reaction there. So they had a nice little laugh about that. Good to see those guys exchanging
I think
pleasantries.
I think it can't be shown before the coaches call challenge. I think after they call challenge, can't they play it then?
No, they don't want that because they don't want the fans' reaction to influence
the referee.
the official.
Got it. Because if he calls the other way now, he'll get booed, right? We got to protect our guys in blue.
All right, so here we go. What's the call? It is out. Charlie wins the challenge. C-Mac is batting 1,000. And it goes from 9-all to 10-8. Hawaii in front. Rosenthal serving. Pulls Nikolov off the net. Outside. Varga. Diving save by Sakanoko, but it drifts out of play. And now Moni Nikolov will serve. Hawaii hitting .400 here in set 2. .200 is the percentage at the moment for Long Beach State. Nikolov, who has been measured at above 80 miles an hour this season from the service line. It is Finn, skips it off the block and out. And what a pass by Louis Sakanoko.
We haven't talked enough about what his passing has meant to this team this year. He worked really hard on it in the offseason in the summer, and he's come back and he can pass half the court easily.
11 serving 9. Middle set, and that is pounded home by Ben Braun.
That was a great pass by Kellen Larson, back-to-back great passes.
Larson, the freshman from Irvine, California, starting libero. I mentioned filling the shoes of Mason Briggs, who was one of the all-timers. Outside, here's Louis. Good dig there by Varga. So Nikolov cross court. Kondev, forget about it. The Hawaii front line wasn't having it.
I think all three blockers got up, but I think Neustrer got most of it. At least according to the flexing he was doing afterwards. You can tell which guy really got most of it. There's Kurt. He knows how to celebrate, doesn't he?
6 Hawaii hands up front there for Hawaii, and it is 12 serving 10. And Neustrer sends it out.
He served just a little bit off. I think Hawaii's become used to him getting points, having long serving runs, especially against Tusculum last year. What did he do, Kanoa, last year against Tusculum?
Yeah, it was one of the all-time great runs. He had 6 aces over the course of what was an 18-0 run against Tusculum. Backside, here's Wade. Off the block and out, so Kanoa Wade in what can perhaps be considered a little bit of a roll of the dice by his pops, Charlie, put into the match, and so far he has paid dividends. 3 kills on 4 swings.
He looked good in warm-up too. I had a good feeling about how he was going to play. If he got in tonight, he really looked good in warm-up.
And the beach out of system. Back bump set Varga to Kondev. Diving save Kearney. Tipped over by Hazan. So Varga, oh, that was a bad set. And Hawaii gets the point.
I'm not sure why Varga tried to set the middle there. I think he felt like he and McCraven got a connection of some sort, but that was way off the base.
So 14 serving 11. Eliu Choi doubling as a floor wiper for a moment.
And what happened to Sakanoko? I think Eliu ran over and grabbed the towel before Louis could get there.
Good serve by Wade. Nikolov a long way to track. Kondev the tip. Advantage Hawaii. Rosenthal middle. Hassan. And McCraven says, oh, no, you don't.
Wow, what a great read block by McCraven. And not fooled at all by the jump set. Right there, he stayed down. He did not go up with Tread Rosenthal at all.
Oh, he didn't bite on that for a second. 12 serving 14. Hrstanovic down the line and wide. Hawaii gets the point. They get to 15 first. We're going to have a challenge of that last call, though. And it looks like we will. So Alan Knight is going to challenge that in-out call. Now, you had the line judges, you had the top official, Troy Gravitt, who all called it out.
Yeah.
So you would think that their positioning would lead you to believe that there was a high probability they got this call right, but let's see. Tailing at the very end. Ooh.
Ooh.
That may have caught a piece of that line.
I can't make the call there, Kanoa. I think that got a piece.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. And if it does get overturned, that's a heck of a challenge by Alan Knight, who's sitting way across the court.
As far away as you can get. And I think his server Kondev told him to challenge.
Alan Knight, recognized as an all-time great coach at the USA Volleyball Hall of Fame banquet back in May. 3-time ABCA Coach of the Year. Has led Long Beach State to 9 Final Fours, 7 since 2016. And, of course, a pair of national championships, back-to-back style, 2018-2019.
And the Olympic coach in 2012 in London. Quite the resume, wouldn't you say?
He's
and his son Hayden right now is playing over in Switzerland.
Yeah, former setter for Long Beach State. Yeah, he's got some bona fides, that's for sure. And he's got his team once again in the #1 ranking position.
They've been pretty unanimous since the start of the season. I think every week the vote came out, it was like, ho-hum, here's another 100% of the coaches voting for Long Beach State to be number one.
Yeah, this is the 11th straight week that Long Beach State has sat atop the rankings.
Speaking of the MPSF, did you hear about the 2 upsets this weekend? Stanford beating SC twice in Los Angeles.
That's amazing. Asterisk?
There is an asterisk. No Dylan Klein, who careered here in a monster match. And Jack Dukers also did not play. And those two guys had career matches here in the Stan Sheriff Center when USC beat Hawaii 3-1.
But still, Stanford,
well,
they'll take the 2 wins over SC. There's no doubt about it. Meanwhile, back in the Big West, how about that set 4 score between CSUN and UCSD? In San Diego, Matadors were down 2-1, and they win set 4, 39-37 to force a 5th set. And CSUN would win the 5th, 15-11. And after the review, the call is confirmed to be out. So at least by virtue of our replay angle, I think a bit of a surprise. I think I was with you. I thought maybe it clipped just a hair of that line. So after the dust clears, Hawaii gets to 15. Timeout on the floor in set 2.
The best time to sing. So Hawaii able to take a 3-point advantage into the media timeout. This has been a weird set 2. Long Beach State led by 3. That was their largest lead at 6-3. Hawaii now leads by 3. It's its largest lead, but it just got a little bit bigger as Louis Sakonoko deals an ace out of the deck. The media timeout, an ace by Louis, and now a timeout called by Alan Knight. Sakonoko, a little bit of filth. Welcome back. So back-to-back timeouts. You had the media timeout. Sakonoko deals an ace. You had the Long Beach State timeout, and here we are. Hawaii up 16-12 in the second. D-set. Hrstanovic cross court. Oh, the up by Wade, but only momentarily.
Hrstanovic not putting up the same kind of numbers that he did last night, but he just absolutely lit it up. Tonight, hitting 0 up until that swing.
Kondev on the serve. What a pass. Oh, the middle set, though, off the mark. Connection wasn't there. Advantage Long Beach State. Now a joust above the tape. Hawaii works it back on its side. Here's Kearney, blocked and roofed. Moni Nikolov. And Moni pumping the fist in celebration.
Watch how high he gets up. It goes over, presses his right hand down into the court. Picture perfect block.
I mean, you look at his frame, the length of those arms, size of those hands. I mean, he is just a gifted specimen on the volleyball court.
Set the entire VNL, the Volleyball National League. It's just like the Olympics in the off season.
Oh boy, look out. Second time we've seen Kondev with a serve that almost hit one of the front liners.
Well, he's going to hear about the under the net serve, I'll tell you that, from the rest of his players. There'll be some teasing about that in the locker room, I'm sure.
And so now Kawai Hong, good to see him getting some action here on senior night. Crowd trying to urge him on. 17 serving 14. Two-hand pass by Kondev. Outside it goes to Varga through the block. And Alex Kondev handling that heavy topspin serve with his hands there. Long Beach State down by 2.
Kondev, remember we got to continue to remind ourselves that Kondev and Nikolov have been playing together since they're like 12 years old. And playing at the national team level.
Peluso back in on the serve. D-set. Here's Wade. Noah Wade grooving here in set 2.
4 kills in 5 tries. No errors. How about that? It's a split block there thanks to a nice juke set by Tread Rosenthal.
And it's now Tread to serve, 18 serving 15. That one crawls over the net. Nikolov going D-set, Hrstanovic. And that looks a little bit more like what we saw as a theme throughout last night's match.
Exactly. He's just off to a little bit slower start tonight. Okay, 4 passers for Hawaii right now. Kainoa Wade added to the passing pattern.
Trying to get into Nikolov's ear. Look at that pass by Sakonoko. Here's Wade from the left side. He is blocked and roofed. And so Long Beach within 1, but the pass by Louis is a highlight reel play unto itself. Beach creeping. Hawaii signals for a timeout.
Now, for a limited time.
Long Beach State steadily creeping back into the mix. And you have the most dangerous server in the country behind the line in Moni Nikolov. 17 serving 18. Took a little something off that time. Rosenthal goes backside, and Finn comes through. Well, you talked about the connection, long-standing relationship on the Long Beach side between Nikolov and Kondev, and you see it here with Rosenthal and Finn Kearney. They go back a ways.
A lot of youth national volleyball, played internationally as well.
Good serve by Finn. Overpass. Neusterer knows what to do with it, and Hawaii's up 3. And Long Beach State's going to signal for another timeout. Tread Rosenthal talked about it after the match last night, said it just felt really natural and comfortable with Finn Kearney getting the start at the opposite position. Going back to him, he says, I know the kind of sets he likes. I know the locations. He said it was just like riding a bike.
Yeah. There's Tread. He's got Dad Mike, Mom Lindsay in town to watch him.
Well, Ryan Kalei-Suji is getting his steps in tonight, roaming around the arena. Ryan, what's up?
Yeah, that's right. Getting my steps in indeed. Joining me now, Terry, and thank you so much for taking time to join us. Eleo's mom. Terry, what has this journey been like for you? Eleo's been with the program for 6 years. Talk about the dedication that your son has shown for this program.
Well, Eleo's always wanted to be a Rainbow Warrior. And for him to be able to, and he said this many, many times in his interviews, just being here, playing in front of Hawaii and the fans, so awesome. It's been a really tough journey for Eleo just because he's undersized. But, you know, I think it shows how he plays with such a big, big heart. And that's just who he is, you know, on and off the court.
And you've been a part of this journey for some time. You had 2 kids. This is the final child, of course, playing. What has this experience been like for you as a mom to see both your kids play here?
You know, it's really wonderful because both Bailey, Eleo feeds off of Bailey, and Bailey always calls her brother right after the game to encourage him and just to be there. In fact, Bailey, honey, you're right here. Listen, I know, but she's, yeah, they're really tight, and just the competitiveness, so they really truly understand each other.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for everything. Back over to you guys.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ryan. Great to hear from the Troy family as Kurt Neusterer puts up the wall.
Maybe Kurt's biggest block solo of the year. Blocking Alex Kondev. Terror from Bulgaria, who's been almost perfect the last couple of weeks. And Kurt had the last say at that time.
And the Manoa Roofing Company sporting the hard hats here in this second set. Kondev sends it long, perhaps thinking about that last roof. And Hawaii has its largest lead of set 2.
Alan Knight, even the great Alan Knight, scratching his head thinking, what do I have to do to beat these Warriors right now?
Nikolov going middle. That's Braun blocked back by Neusterer. Nikolov going outside this time. Hrstanovic the dink. Diving save. Rosenthal Wade against 2 blockers. And Long Beach State will play it back. Backside. Varga dug up over the net. Oh, and it's an overpass. Kondev gave it away. Neusterer clobbers it. Hawaii up 6.
How about this pancake dig there by Rosenthal, who had 13 digs last night. Here's the end of the play with Neusterer putting it down. He could have easily followed through into the net, though. That was a very tight play at the net.
It is as loud in this building as we have heard in years. Sub in for Long Beach State. Connor Bloom on the floor. He'll get the set on the outside. Tip shot right there is Tread. Kearney sets up Wade. Centered by Bloom. Varga will get a swing out of it. Diving save by Kearney. Second touch Choi. And we play on. Advantage Beach. Nikolov backside Varga. And he goes OTT. Going over the top of that Louis Sakanoko block.
Great swing by Skyler Varga. Long Beach State was really in control that entire rally. Varga with a great exclamation point right there, one-on-one. What a set from Nikolov. He just has a way of getting all of his hitters one-on-one or one-on-none situations.
18 serving 23. We saw Hawaii with a late advantage in the fourth set last night. It was 20-18, so this one a little bit more demonstrative, but you could never count the beach out. Pass by Troy is a good one. Rosenthal against the grain. Wade over the block, but he sails it wide. And that gives Long Beach State the point. They're within 4.
Charlie Wade has one timeout left. He's got a couple of challenges left if he needs them. Going to find some way to slow down a Long Beach State run.
And Vargas sends it out. And they will rise here on set point. Aloha ball in the second.
9,950 rise. There's 50 that aren't rising. You know who they are?
The Long Beach State faithful. Here's Kai Taylor. Pass by Vargas, a good one. Nikolov, backside, Hrstanovic. And he rips it down. So that quiets the crowd, but they remain standing. It remains Aloha ball. And Ben Braun will serve.
What a swing by Hrstanovic. Just a classic arm swing.
Rosenthal outside. Here's Louis. And this match is tied at 1 set apiece. And a little bit of jawing through the net. Hawaii takes it 25-20. There will be no sweep tonight on senior night. As a matter of fact, this match is up for grabs.
University of Hawaii Sports.
Inside Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center, where it's intermission here on senior night. Number 1 Long Beach State, number 4 Hawaii, and we're knotted up at a set apiece. Scott, James, Ryan, a much different atmosphere here than 24 hours ago where Hawaii was down 2 sets to none. we got ourselves a ball game.
We really do, and I really like Charlie Wade's decision to put Finn Kearney on the outside and bring in Kainoa Wade. Unfortunately, Adrian Roar's struggling a little bit, but Finn is having the time of his life out there.
Yeah, really playing some incredible defense. There are times where you can tell Long Beach is targeting Finn in the passing, and he is really holding his own, helping to also lead this team offensively right now. Looking at his number 8 kills, hitting .357.
Yeah, you know, you heard Kanoa and Chris talking about making that move from opposite earlier in the match to the left side in that second set. That's not as easy as you would think. Particularly, he's a left-hander.
Yeah, it's not easy at all, but what probably made it a little bit more comfortable is he's been in that passing rotation when he was back row, so it was easy to step in. He's seen the serve and the heat that Long Beach State can bring, and he's doing a really good job controlling it. He looks like he's having the time of his life out there, and it speaks volumes about how good of a volleyball player he is. He's not a one-trick pony. He can do a lot of good things.
And it's crazy to think, right? He was a serving specialist pretty much throughout the whole season, and now here he is helping to lead this team. It talks a lot about the depth that this Hawaii team has.
Talking about depth, how about the guy that took his spot on the opposite position, Kainoa Wade, the freshman from Kamehameha Kapalama, 4 kills. He did have a couple of errors, but he brought a different energy level in that second set.
Well, it's a different type of opposite attacker as well. You notice the height difference in the sets locations. It's a lot higher to Kainoa, where Finn likes it a little more in-tempo, and because Kainoa is just using his height and his advantage to really use the block and find those high seams.
Yeah, and Kainoa doing a really good job helping slow down Long Beach State's outsides, you know, something that Hawaii struggled with until that last set. They're doing a really good job. They're playing their kind of volleyball. And what I'm enjoying watching from Hawaii's side is they're playing with a lot more grit tonight. It's just bodies are hitting the floor, hands are flying left and right, trying to keep the ball alive, and they're doing a good job with it.
On the other side of the net, a Long Beach State team that's still hitting, I think, around 340 for the match. I mean, they're still as dangerous as ever.
Yeah, I mean, they're still doing a lot of things very well. I think Hawaii was able to get a few points in some key rotations, especially behind Finn Kearney's serve in the last later part in set number 2. But they're still playing very well, hitting for 340. That last set, however, hitting only 185. So you can see that Hawaii is doing a better job at slowing them down.
Yeah, Long Beach State also with a lot more service errors tonight. They already have 13 service errors by the second set, allowing Hawaii to find more of a rhythm. They only have 7 service errors on 1 ace. Hawaii's doing a really good job. They're playing clean. They're going to have to continue to do that if they're going to try and get the win tonight.
All right, Ryan, tied at a set apiece. So what does Hawaii need to do to pull out the win?
You know, right now it feels like Hawaii has the scene held together by duct tape. They got to make sure this duct tape is the extra strong type, because players are playing in different positions, and it's really showing the grit. I think if they can continue to feed off this crowd, you know, they can continue to ride this momentum.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep this energy alive. It's going to be a marathon here tonight. The fans are big help for this Hawaii team. When they're on their feet cheering, it is incredibly loud. Long Beach looks flustered at times. They need to just keep running throughout this entire marathon.
Yeah, the crowd could end up being the 7th man, if you will, when this one's all said and done. We'll take a break. Tied at the set apiece.
At Kaiser.
Back inside Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. It's intermission here in the final regular season home match for Hawaii, tied at a set apiece. It was the Beach taking the opener, 25-21. Hawaii bounced back, took the second, 25-20. So when we come back, the serve to start set number 3 with Kanoa and Chris.
Here are the Pizza Hut match statistics, and well, now it's a best of 3 here, C-Mac. Long Beach State taking the first 25-21, Hawaii flipping the script in the second.
The stat that really jumps out are the digs. Hawaii 15-9 there. Look at the service aces to errors. Long Beach State with 13 errors, Hawaii only 7. The other stat that does not show up there is the hitting percentage in the second set. Hawaii hitting 280, Long Beach State hitting 180. So Hawaii's defense really showing their stuff in that second set.
All right, so we welcome you back into a sold-out Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Kanoa Leahy next to Chris McLaughlin. And C-Mac, looks like Charlie Wade bringing the same lineup out that we saw in that second set, with Kainoa Wade on the floor and Finn Kearney moving from opposite to outside.
Yeah, that, like Ryan Suji said, it looks like this line is being held together with duct tape, because everybody's moving all around. You just hope nobody falls apart. But clearly the most challenged guy tonight is Finn Kearney, having to play 2 very different positions, and he's doing a terrific job at both.
Finn Kearney leading the way for Hawaii with 8 kills. In fact, that's tops on the floor, hitting 357.
He's got more than Kondev. Kondev's got 7 kills.
Yeah, Kondev, by his incredible standards, especially as of late, hitting below the mark. He is 188 percentage-wise on the night. But here we go, set 3 about to get underway. And Moni Nikolov goes high up on the platform of Louis Sakanoko. Here's Wade, 2 blockers up, and forget about it. The door was shut closed. Ben Braun getting the gist of it.
Ben Braun at 6'11". Dad was a great player back in '88, played USA men's volleyball. He was the alternate for the Olympics that year. And Ben is obviously a chip off the old block.
Louis takes on the setting responsibilities. Finn going to try to battle a triple block on the other side. A little bit of an avoidance swing, and he sends it out. So Long Beach State scores the first 2 points. We did see a little bit of chatter on that last set point before the intermission.
Sakanoko and Darian
Yaris McCraven.
Yaris McCraven, yeah.
Oh, the out serve there by Moni Nikolov. Hawaii on the board.
Hawaii can ill afford to get off to a bad start. That seems to be their demise the last couple nights. When they get off to a bad start, they usually lose the set. They can't catch up.
So here's Tread, had a good service run in that second set. Diving pass there by Kellen Larson outside. Hrstanovic off the block and out of play. Hrstanovic was fantastic last night. As you alluded to, a bit of a quieter run through the first two sets, but you can tell he is on the verge of percolating at almost all times. Middle set, that's Neusterer blocked back the cover there by Louis. Here's Kearney against a double block. What a dig, Nikolov, in the swing on two by Braun. Moni Nikolov with a dig and assist at the same time.
Nikolov I think he's their leading digger. If I'm not mistaken, he's out digs the liberos. So he can play defense. He's a great blocker. He's tied for first in block solos this year.
And it's for serving one. Here's Skylar Varga. And it's an ace. One of those I got it, you got it, nobody gets it moments there between Eleu Choi and Finn Kearney, and not the start Hawaii was hoping for, especially with the momentum of winning set number 2. Sakanoko pops it straight up in the air. Backside, here's Kearney. And he sends it long. Was there a touch? No touch. And Charlie Wade may go to the Koa Challenge paddle, and he does. We will have a review here.
And that ball was set so close to the referee. I'm surprised that referee, top referee, doesn't call that. It's unlikely it's going to show up in a review. We'll see.
Finn Kearney was adamant with Charlie Wade about challenging that call. He felt like undeniably there was a touch. But you're right. R1 was
right
just about a foot away.
Exactly. So if anybody's going to hear the touch or see the touch, it's going to be the R1.
So again, they can review both the touch and the in and out.
Ooh,
and so the in and out fairly close as well.
Yeah, very close.
Do we have a touch here on this block attempt? It's Kondev and Braun. Hard to tell there.
Yeah, that's a tough one. A little too blurry for me. Maybe this one will show.
Oh, and they are going to call a touch. So Wayne Lee, after the review, makes the call. Oh, victorious challenge for Charlie Wade. And so it is 2 serving 5.
Hawaii still has all 3 of their challenges. The 2 left.
There's a dig there by Rosenthal. Set by Kearney to Wade, and he's able to tool the block. Well, that was some savvy from the true freshman.
How about the assist for Finn Kearney? Nice high ball. Big block he's going up against. Good thing he didn't choose to go cross court. Would have run into the 6'11" Ben Braun.
The way this set 3 started, it was looking like Long Beach State was laying the clamps on Hawaii offensively, but they have now found a few seams in that Long Beach State block. And Eleu Choi again, just always moving, whether it's wiping the floors or diving on the court. Or
he's also usually the first one to practice and the last one to leave. Does that surprise you?
I don't think he's ever just been still for longer than a few seconds in his lifetime. Outside, and we're going to have a point by Kondev as he goes off of the Hawaii block. Now, Kondev did cross the line underneath. And there was some foot traffic there. I think I know away saying, you know, the ball hadn't gone out yet. It does look like that foot comes down across the line before the ball hit the Terraflex out of bounds.
Yep. Bang, bang call again. Might be reviewable. Challengeable.
And now we're going to have a convo between the R1 and R2. Troy Gravitt, the top of the ladder. Wayne Lee coming across from his R2 position. Tread Rosenthal, the floor captain, going to listen in. I mean, from that replay, it appeared as though the crossing of the line took place before the ball hit the ground. If it happens in reverse order, then
correct,
the crossing of the line wouldn't matter. But it looks like after all of that discussion, we will play on with the call that was made. So 6 serving 3, and the sold-out home crowd here will proclaim that that was a bit of athletic justice there on the outserve by Ben Braun. Kurt Nooster getting ready to send it across. A bit of a tough one last night for Kurt. He had no kills, hit negative. Did have an ace, though. Nikolov goes middle, McCraven. And that was crushed. And McCraven, who was the one engaging with Louis Sakonoko in some conversation at the end of that last set, has some extra words. So the homecoming of this Moanalua alum souring a bit in the mind of some of the home fans. We have a yellow card that has been issued to Darius McCraven. Well, it is Hawaii and Long Beach State, so at some point you just kind of expect this stuff to happen.
I remember one year when Dave Shoji was coaching against Brian Giammalero. On night number 2, the fans all brought yellow cards. Yeah. And when Brian Giammalero ever got up off the bench, they would give him a yellow card. So pretty funny.
Yellow card issued to Darius McCraven and Moni Nikolov. So here we go, back to action, and the serve is out. The temperature in the building is increasing.
No question about it. Love the signage that's showing up tonight as well. The fans got very creative.
5 serving 7. What a pass. Back row, Varga explodes on it. That was a sonic boom. And Eleu Choi in defense mode on that one.
Give a lot of credit to Kellen Larson for a beautiful pass. And Darius McCraven took a couple of blockers with him.
And now all of a sudden the service errors piling up for Long Beach State here at this juncture.
And the only loss that Long Beach State has had this year to UC Irvine, 22 service errors led the way.
Louis 6 serving 8 here in the 3rd. This match tied at 1 set apiece. Nikolov goes backside. Hrstanovic. Little high cheddar there in the direction of Louis Sakonoko. Rivalry renewed, huh, C-Mac?
I think so. You can feel it. Hrstanovic once again delivering nothing but heat.
Rosenthal goes middle. It's Hazani, got blocked back. Kearney trying to go cross court, tried to cut it thin. And it misses the floor wide. So Long Beach State up 10-6. Charlie Wade with some words for Wayne Lee, and I think he is going to challenge that there was a net violation there committed by Long Beach State. So this is the 5th challenge issued by Charlie Wade tonight. He has won 3, lost 1.
That's not a bad record.
No, he had a good percentage last night as well. Long Beach State, they challenged 1 call so far and lost that challenge. So let's see if there's a net violation.
Oh, right there. Oh, yeah. I'm going to call it right now.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep. C-Mac's on top of this.
Calling it. It's okay, Wayne.
And I guess the only concern becomes, without being overly critical of the officiating, is when you are seeing so many overturned net violation calls, you are forced to wonder why those are being missed in live action time.
True. It's a great question, and I do not have an answer for that one. But if I had Wayne Lee's cell number, I would call him right now. Wayne, it's over. Net violation.
That would be fantastic if Wayne Lee just pulled out his cell phone from his pocket. And, oh, that's C-Mac calling.
Oh, man. Too funny.
I mean, it seemed pretty clear there based on our net cam angle. And it looks like Wayne Lee has now come to a conclusion. And it is a net violation. And so that changes things a little bit. It goes from 10-6 to 7 serving 9.
Very, very different.
And now Ofek Kazan, who has found himself being a critical piece here for Hawaii this weekend. Oh, Nikolov! He's stuffed! Tried to catch Hawaii off guard, but Kurt Nooster had other plans.
It is rare to see Moni Nikolov get blocked, that's for sure.
So 8 serving 9. Hawaii within 1. An overpass. Rosenthal sets up Kearney. He got blocked. Played off the net by Finn. Rosenthal trying to chase it down, but he can't make it happen. And Long Beach State gets the point. Hard fought as it was.
Here comes Louis. Louis back. He did not like the fact that Eleu was one-upping him. I guess maybe being a senior, Eleu can take charge of the towel if he wants, but kind of has been Louis' job, don't you think, this year?
He's taken the responsibility upon himself almost on a nightly basis. It's just one of those, the old adage, right? If you want something done right, sometimes you got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
What a gig if you're a floor wiper, right? You're sitting there, you're out there on the floor, and the players are doing the work for
Just
you.
give the towel to Louis. Or give it to Eleu. Take your pick.
Fred Rosenthal going pin to pin here, talking with the officials.
He might be bleeding. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what this is about. Well, this is the penultimate regular season series for both these teams. Long Beach State will have a pair of matches against UC San Diego next week. Hawaii still with a series at UC Santa Barbara on the docket. And then, of course, after that, it is the Big West Championship Tournament. Now, there seems to be a discussion whether or not Moni Nikolov interfered there. You see him reaching below the net. Did not appear to make contact with the ball, but still could be considered an interference penalty. Take a look at this, C-Mac.
I missed that on the first time around. There, right there. And he was reaching under the net.
Nikolov has that knowing smile. And now we get back to action. 10 serving 8. What a pass there by Choi. Backside Wade. 2 blockers up. And they turn it back. Varga and Braun. And Hawaii at the moment hitting negative numbers here in this third frame.
So smoothly that block went into the outside. They were bunch blocking, and then they bunch read, and then they just go out in unison together. No wonder they're the 1 or 2 best blocking teams in the country.
Nikolov into the net, and that'll get a rise out of the crowd. And Hawaii hitting negative 100 compared to 556 for Long Beach State. Trying to hang here down by 2. Great pass, Kellen Larson. Backside, Varga. My word. That was ferocious.
Oh, man. And here's a guy who, like Finn Kearney, has gone from opposite to outside, back to opposite.
Pass by Choi is a good one. They go back row. Louis blasts it off the hands and out, and a little extra stare down from Sakanoko through the net. Stoking the Flames a little bit.
The last thing he wants to do is get the Long Beach players mad to make them play better. Louis just needs to turn around and face his teammates.
Oh, and Finn Kearney sends it just long. Another ill-timed service error here for Hawaii. And Braun, the 6'11 junior from Rancho Mirage, California. Spent time at Ohio State before going to Long Beach State. Wade over the block, dug up by Varga. Outside, Kondev off the block. It got slowed down. Backside, here's Wade. Nice wrist away action there by Kainoa Wade.
Nice adjustment by Kainoa that time with his feet. The set was a little inside. He had to go chase it down and then turn and go over the top.
And now a sub here for Hawaii as Justin Todd enters into the match, replacing Ofek Hazan. 6'8" redshirt frosh from Houston out of Moanalua. So a couple of Moanalua products or alums playing middle opposite each other. Oh, that was hammered by Alex Kondev. So yeah, interesting dynamic there once again with Justin Todd on one side, Dieris McCraven on the other. Couple former Namenehune.
Long Beach State offense can be so dangerous, hitting for such a high percentage.
Yeah, how about 583 at the moment here in this set?
And they hit 400 on the year. Nobody does that.
Unheard of. Easily the best percentage as a team in the nation. Rosenthal outside here. Sakanoko! An absolute laser beam from Louis.
Against a really good line blocker, Moni Nikolov.
Kainoa to serve, 12 serving 14. Pulls Nikolov off the net. Cross court back bump set. Kondev. And he missed it. Hawaii gets the point. They're within 1.
Kondev has now had 2 of those shots tonight. He's had a serve under the net and an attack under the net. Very unusual.
13 serving 14, and Wade pumps it out. And Long Beach State gets to 15 first. So these service errors, again, stymieing some of this Hawaii momentum. Timeout on the floor.
I basically...
There's a look at Sotirios Chapanis. Hails from Cyprus. Played at Ohio State before heading over to Long Beach State. A multiple-time All-American. And a guy who is unable to go at the moment. Alex Kondev has filled in admirably, but Chapanis, he is one heck of a volleyball player. And so Long Beach State, like Hawaii at the moment without Christian Tatrisky, playing short-handed. Justin Todd missed the bump set. Kainoa Wade, who just sends it across freebie style. Outside here is Varga, and he lights it up. And Long Beach State up 16-13.
Skylar Varga taking it to another level tonight. 7th kill, hitting .429.
All Big West Conference honorable mention a season ago. Rosenthal goes D-set to Wade. And Kainoa Wade caught it flush. 7th kill for the Frosh. So Hawaii trying to hang tough here. They are being out-hit severely, 500 to 200. The service errors piling up a bit for Long Beach State. Hawaii, 9 service errors overall in the match, but they have come at very inopportune times.
Right there.
Long Beach State with 18 service errors. That's the only way Hawaii's been able to stay close in this game and be behind by 3, because they're getting out hit by like 300 points in offense.
And Craven hearing a smattering of boos. Here's Justin Todd in the middle. The set was a little off the mark. So now bump set goes to Nikolov. The tip, diving save on the chase down by Choi. Here's Wade, 3 blockers up, had to take something off. Nikolov going D-set. Hrstanovic through the block and down. Hrstanovic now with 8 kills. And Long Beach State operating like a well-oiled machine at the moment.
Sliding out at a lofty 76%. You know, between 70 and 72 is going to win you most sets. They're at 76 right now and getting better. Hawaii at sliding out at 66% rate.
Two-hand pass there, Choi. Wade blocked and roofed. It was sealed shut by Varga and Braun. And Long Beach State has now established control here in this 3rd frame. They're up a handful, 19-14, largest lead for the Beach. Timeout, Hawaii. This sold-out crowd momentarily silent.
Check it out.
He showed up with the...
sold out through the turnstile, 9,771. And it has been, at times, loud as heck. Oh, Hawaii scrambling here. Bum said Wade. That was too far of a distance to traverse. And, in fact, he stepped on the 3-meter line. So Long Beach State has now scored 4 in a row, and things in a bit of disarray on the Hawaii side of the net here.
Starting to flex their muscles and having a little bit of trouble with Diaz McCraven's jump float.
Rosenthal going outside. It's Kearney. And Finn getting back to work. He has a match-high 11 kills. And you are seeing now this weekend the true talent that Finn Kearney has in that lefty arm of his.
He's been so patient all year long. He wanted to show his wares, but he can only do it from behind the service line. Now he's getting some great court time.
Justin Todd loops the serve over. Nikolov goes middle, and that was easy pickings for Braun. And we talked a little bit about it last night. What makes Moni Nikolov and that serve delivery so difficult to read?
Oh, man, he holds his hands up high. They're large hands, and he just flips them one way or the other. There's no arching of the back. It's a giveaway. There's no putting hands in a different position. They're just the same position all the time. It's so difficult to read. Long Beach State gets any kind of a good pass, it's pretty much guaranteed that Moni Nikolov is going to give his hitter a one-on-none or a one-on-one situation.
Well, Hawaii playing some great service defense and forcing a lot of these service errors. Can we frame it that way?
Is there a stat for that?
Outside, Kristanovic 2 hands it across. Rosenthal outside. Here's Finn. Finn with the finish. And Hawaii within 4.
Long Beach State with 2 timeouts. Charlie Wade with 1 timeout left.
Served there by Tread. Here's Varga. The tip got blocked back. And we got a net violation. And it's going to go against Hawaii.
I think Kearney got in the net that time.
Again, the margin of error so minuscule when you play a team like Long Beach State. They'll take advantage of every mistake you make and then do something like that to create more breathing room. Skylar Varga with a lightning rod. And that forces a Hawaii timeout. Beach up a half dozen here in set 3. It's 23-17, Long Beach State able to flash some smiles here because they have controlled this third frame, hitting .526 in set 3.
Really been an impressive offensive output by Long Beach State for sure.
That serve by Varga just beyond the end line, though, keeping Hawaii's slim hopes here in the third alive.
Varga off the Canadian U19 team, the U21 team, the U23 team. He's done it all for the country of Canada.
Yeah, started his career at the University of Saskatchewan as Finn Kearney sees that one drift out. And that's going to be set point here for Long Beach State. And we're going to have a service sub here for the Beach. Dane Hillis once again in and back to serve. Saw him as a service sub last night. Rosenthal outside. Here's Sakonoko. That one got blocked back off of his dome and over. Bump set outside. It goes to Hrstanovic, and he's blocked, and that one went off of his dome. So Hawaii ultimately gets the point here, but Alan Knipe is arguing something on that sequence. And in fact, he's going to issue a challenge. So depending on the ruling here, if this is an overturned call, then this would be the end of set 3.
Long Beach State rejected ball out. We have a review.
Ball out?
Unless he's saying maybe it went off of Sakonoko and hit the pin, or that it
went out, outside the antenna?
Was outside the antenna on the swing, maybe something in there. On the other side, you have Charlie Wade. 2 wins away from tying Mike Wilton as winningest head coach in program history. Charlie at 314. Mike Wilton won 316 matches between 1993 and 2009. Of course, coached some tremendous teams, some tremendous players over the course of his tenure. You see it go off of Sakonoko.
There's the call, outside the antenna.
Oh, there you go. So he's saying it went off of his dome and over the net outside the pin, but did it?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it went right over the antenna, I think. Even though Nikolov took the ball in back right next to the line there, I think Louis was outside front left, hitting it. Went off his dome and over the antenna, and that's how it got to Nikolov. I'd be surprised if they change this call.
Well, the call on the floor was in favor of Hawaii, so yeah, you'd be surprised if they didn't, is what you're saying.
Yeah, didn't change it, yeah.
Well, here we go. Survey says. And it is a successful challenge. And one of the more anticlimactic finishes to a set you'll ever see as Long Beach State takes it by the final arithmetic of 25-18. So the Beach up 2 sets to 1 here. And it's going to be a must-win 4th. It was heating up a little bit in that 3rd frame. A little bit more dialogue between the teams. Set 4 coming up.
Now, for a limited time, get...
Hawaii Honda dealers highlight reel, and Long Beach State, the #1 team in the nation in aces per set. They have 3 aces in this match. All 3 of them coming from Skylar Varga. They've also been pretty stout up front, C-Mac.
Yeah, they've been 1 or 2 in the country all year long in their block, and it's so imposing. It's big, it's athletic. They know how to press over. They get 3-man blocks up when necessary. They rarely have a net violation, so they're very controlled with their arms at the net. And they're fun to watch as a blocking team, for sure. Well coached.
And their ability to take advantage of mistakes that the team on the other side of the net makes is pretty uncanny.
Especially in transition. They get a free ball, or if they get a good pass, that's pretty much, it's going down. They just are so smooth in their offense. And I think Nikolov is getting more and more used to his teammates and what kind of sets they like and how fast they want it set to them. And they're just getting better and better. And again, you know, to hit 400 on the year is just an amazing statistic. Tonight they're hitting 384, so right up their season average, a little under their season average.
Yeah. Hawaii holding them to 384, although they hit 500 in that third set. So we have some lineup tweaks here for set 4. Adrian Rohr back on the Terraflex for Hawaii, which would mean that Finn Kearney is going to move back over to the right side. And it looked like Justin Todd and Kurt Neusterer would be the 2 middles here for Hawaii.
So Kearney again being the utilitarian on the team.
Just going pole to pole, pin to pin.
Yeah.
And right now Finn Kearney still tops among all hitters here in this match with 12 kills. So a must-win set 4 for Hawaii. The 4th-ranked team in the country against top-ranked Long Beach State, and the first serve for Trent Rosenthal sent long. And this crowd waiting for something to get revved up about again. It's been a minute. Long Beach State doing a great job of taking the air out of the tires, so to speak. Backside, here's Rohr. And that will cue a roar here in the building.
Adrian had a chance to sit out a set and see what's open on the Long Beach State side of the net for defense, and he took advantage.
And now Rohr from behind the service line. Good pass there. Kondev. Varga blocked back. Pinballed around. Neusterer the swing. Gets it done. 5 kills for Kurt. Hawaii up 2-1.
5 kills and even better, no errors. Hitting over 800.
How about that pass by Varga? He gets the set on the outside, cross court and wide. No touch up front. Oh, we have a net violation called against Hawaii, so the celebration was on. But then the call made by Wayne Lee, giving it to the beach, so 2-all here in the 4th.
It must have been a micro touch. I didn't see the net move or anybody touch it.
And here's Moni. Took a little something off that time. A dime on the pass by Sakamoto, and then the pick goes to Rohr, and he finishes the deal. Adrian Rohr has been sitting for some time here, C-Mac.
He's got fresh legs and a fresh arm. How about that pass from Louis that time? Trent Roosevelt didn't have to move an inch to set that ball.
Well, you're going to have to figure out a way to apply some consistent pressure from the service line. Back row, Kondev. That was hitting lines right there.
Pretty much an open net that time once again. Moni Nikolov managing to set an incredible offense. Blocker, middle blocker goes up that time. It was
and that one going to be played there by Larson. And this time it's Kondev again. A thunderous serve there by Skylar Varga, who just seems to be hitting the ball harder and harder as this match wears on.
Yeah, he's hitting close to 70 miles an hour as well. He's got that cut serve as well. Area one.
Pulled the string there. Rosenthal sets up Kearney. Dug up over the net by Hrstanovic. Here's Finn again. With a little extra chili pepper water sprinkled on top.
Finn just continues to answer the call. He's got some good sets from Rosenthal. See if Hawaii can hit better than what they hit last set. Last set they hit 087. Not a good number.
Nikolov's going to go outside. And Kondev with some force. So he is now up to 12 kills. He's the top hitter for Long Beach State, and his percentage continues to creep up. Outside, Louis. Oh, they went quick that time. A little extra tempo on that set to the outside pin there by Rosenthal.
Yeah, Louis got a nice one-on-one situation on the outside. The Antis like that one.
So Sakanoko, 5 kills on 12 swings. Tied at 5 here in a must-win fourth for Hawaii. Pass by Vargas on the money. Middle set, McCraven got blocked. Nikolov goes right side. Hrstanovic off the block. The punch up in the air there by Rosenthal. Diving bump set by Louis. And it's a free chance here for the beach. McCraven sends it out.
A rare error from McCraven, who hits, what is it, 540 on the year, something like that? Or is it 450?
443 exactly coming in.
Yeah.
He's hitting 500 now after that hitting error in this match. And Sakanoko into the string. Neck and neck here in the early stage of set 4.
Between these two teams, they've served out 33 times. Make it 34. I would suspect that night number 2, legs and arms get a little weary, you know, going 4 sets, battling hard. Maybe the legs and arms aren't behaving the way they want them to, and you end up with bad serves. That one was pretty good.
Nikolov going right side. Hrstanovic, the block slowed it down. Just in time, tracked it down. And then Sakanoko blew it up.
Hawaii has not set the Bic in a while. So I think this caught Long Beach State a little bit off guard as Louis came flying out of the back row.
Supanoko. Yeah, that was Supanova. Eight serving 6. Well, you're looking loose for what it's worth on its side of the net at the moment.
Yeah.
And that one gets through that double block proposed by Neusterer and Rosenthal, and another kill for Kondev.
Block leaving too much room between the net and their arms. Just enough for a volleyball to fit through and drop to the floor for a Long Beach State point.
13 kills for Kondev. They go D-set to Kearney, dug up over the net by Larson. So Hawaii with the advantage. One hand middle set, Neusterer deposits it.
Kurt Neusterer, what a night he is having. 6 kills in 7 tries. Hitting O'Meara, 857.
In the financial world, they would refer to that as his stock going up. Great pass by Varga. Gets it back on the swing and then just crushes it.
How good was that pass by Varga? It was very difficult. The way he had to twist and turn and change his platform. Get it to direct it right to Moni Nikolov.
Okay. Now we're seeing some high-level volleyball. At this moment in set 4, these teams are doing some pretty crazy things. Adrian Rohr able to tool the block. Hawaii has yet to commit a hitting error here so far in the 4th. They're hitting 800. Long Beach State on the other side hitting 455, and we are seeing guys go nuclear on some of these sets.
The offenses have cranked it up.
An overpass forced. Handled by Choi. Rosenthal, middle, Neusterer. Stay hot, kid. And Long Beach signals for a timeout. This place is once again on fire. Welcome back, Kurt Neusterer on senior night. One of the 5 individuals who will be honored at the conclusion of this match. And he has stepped game here tonight, C-Mac.
What a difference a day makes. Hitting negative last night. Tonight, hitting 887 with 3 blocks to boot.
Out of the timeout, Adrian Rohr serves it long. So the timeout works, in essence, there for Alan Knight. And it is Moni Nikolov to serve.
Watch how he spins the ball in this serve. Uses 2 hands to put a lot of spin on it. Makes it really tough to pass.
Unless you're Eleu Choi. And Kurt lays the smackdown.
Oh, Kurt.
Neusterer is on a bender tonight.
I think it helped that he won his chess match against Alex Parks in the pregame. He's in a good mood.
It should not be understated just how well Hawaii has handled Moni Nikolov's serve for the most part this weekend, not allowing a service ace for the guy who has 82 on the year as Hrstanovic gets the kill, the side, and the point for Long Beach State. But you talk about Nikolov. He had 8 aces in a match against Pepperdine back in January. He's had 3 matches where he's had at least 7 aces. None this weekend so far, as that one is blasted long by Varga.
Hawaii hasn't been able to handle Varga that well, but they've handled Nikolov fairly well. I think only a couple of overpasses last night.
13 serving 10, it's Finn. And that one is bashed by Ben Braun.
Once again, Kellen Larson with another stellar pass to Moni Nikolov.
So Georgi Bainev now subs in to serve, 6'4" sophomore from Varna, Bulgaria. Oh, and that was some heavy heat. So yeah,
credit them for handling Moni, but it's some of the other guys for Long Beach State that have done damage. And right there, Binev, that had some smoke tailing off of it.
It's the water. I'm telling you, it's the water in Bulgaria.
And that one creeps over and down. Back-to-back aces for Binev, and the Beach drawing even here in set 4.
So Charlie Wade choosing to not call timeout. Gonna wait till the media 15-point mark.
5 aces to 22 service errors for Long Beach State. 1 ace to 14 errors on the Hawaii side. Tread Rosenthal having a convo with Troy Grabb at the R1.
Not sure what that was all about.
So an unnecessary delay warning was issued to Hawaii there. And maybe Hawaii will take it if it threw Binev out of rhythm, because he sends that one wayward. Also looked like he may have committed a foot foul there.
Yeah.
But now Hawaii up by a digit here. Louis Sakanoko to serve, 14 serving 13. Overpass. Roar kept alive there by Larson. And the Long Beach State Beach trying to prolong the sequence, but they're going to call a 4 contact against the Beach. And so Hawaii gets point number 15. Good effort and hustle there by the Beach, but to no avail. Timeout on the floor.
Anything's possible.
Tonight's Hyundai head-to-head stat line, and yeah, we have 5 seniors on either side. Hawaii, of course, celebrating senior night tonight. Long Beach State with 5 seniors on its roster.
How about the offenses in this set? Hawaii hitting 846. It's Long Beach State hitting 538.
Well, would you look at that? Malakai Todd. And one that is fresh off the shelf. Out of the timeout. Nikolov goes backside. Hristanovic eats up that Adrian Rohr block attempt. And Eleu Choi is slow to get up. And he may have caught that one in a not so sensational spot.
Who's close to the net right now is Kellen Larson, the libero for Long Beach State, who knows how it feels to get a shot down the line with no blocker up. The libero's courageous guys, I'm telling you.
They were trying to shake it off. serving 15, and Connor Bloom in the serve. They lay right back with it with the dime pass. Here's Kearney. Oh, but he tried to go line and missed it. But a net violation called against the Beach. And Hawaii gets the point anyway.
Hawaii substitution, Kai Taylor. Into serve for Justin Tom.
Yeah, he's definitely the left side blocker there. Got into the net. I think it was Kondev.
I mean, that little sliver of a moment there, pretty heroic by Leu Choi.
Absolutely.
All things considered.
Yes.
Kai Taylor to serve. Oh, it's a good one. What a pass there by Varga. Outside, tight to the pin there. Kondev wrestling with Neuster, who rolls over. It's tipped over the net, and Rosenthal was out of whack there trying to take a crack at it, and it looked like Neuster may have rolled his ankle.
I think you're right.
And this has happened far too frequently for Hawaii fans' taste. Already with Christian Tatrisky out with the rolled ankle. And now Kurt Neuster trying to test it out here with trainer Reiki Miyazato.
Let's see if we can see Kurt's right foot there. If it goes down on his outside blocking foot, yes, he fell into Fred Rosenthal.
And he's going to try to continue here. Looking a little wobbly. Kondev on the serve. Rosenthal goes D-set. Kearney is blocked. It's pinballed around, and Kearney able to get it across. Back row, Kondev. Dubbed up by Sakamoto. Little joust above the net. Pancake save by Larson. The save by Nikolov, and he is roofed.
What a rally. Great pancake save that time from Larson to keep the rally alive, and then Hawaii finally getting a block on Moni Nikolov.
Hawaii showing some guts throughout that sequence. And in this fourth set, up by 2. Trying to force a fifth. Pass tight to the net. Nikolov goes over on 2. Joust above the tape. And it's going to be a Hawaii point. We're going to call a lift against Long Beach State.
No argument from Alan Knight there. He's going to call timeout instead.
The volume knob is turned all the way up.
Get ready for the
volleyball squad that's in the house. That's the Campbell boys volleyball program over there in section SS. They see themselves on TV. Representing Eva Beach. Back to live action. And back to work goes Trent Rosenthal. Dealing the ace out of the deck. And Hawaii is up
ace of the night. Unusual. Long Beach State, on the other hand, has 5 aces.
Pass by Kondev. Nikolov going D-set. Hrstanovic. That one rattles off the tape. Was not touched by the Hawaii block, and it lands out of bounds. Hawaii has its largest lead of the 4th set. They have scored 4 in a row.
Big test now is, can Hawaii get to 25 first? Last night they had a 20-18 lead in the 4th set and could not close.
That pulls Nikolov off the net. Varga, 3 blockers waiting for him. It's popped up there by Rosenthal. Choi, cross-court bump set. Kearney loops it over. Easy pickings on the save. Outside, Varga blocked, but it lands out. Point for Long Beach. Kurt Neuster thought he had one.
Surprised that Curry didn't take a bigger swing at that last ball from Leo Choi, but it was a tough one coming from a long ways away.
And it's going to be Dane Hillis inserted into the match once again to serve. Pass by Rohr is a good one. Back row, and Sakanoko is roofed. Ben Braun in the thick of things, and Long Beach State within 3.
A block, well formed, 2 blockers up. Nikolov, the big help there.
11, make that 12 blocks now for Long Beach State. But no block that time as Adrian Rohr goes off the hands.
Nikolov in the front row now. They're going to be wary of his presence as an offensive attacker as we see Adrian Rohr get a big kill there. Picking up kill number 9.
Good serve by Rohr. And it'll be a free ball over the net. Rosenthal backside. Kearney off the block and out. As it momentarily stands, 22-17 Hawaii, but Alan Knight is going to issue a challenge.
Claiming that the ball went off Kearney's head as it went out of bounds. Big challenge here.
Yeah, this is big.
They were quick to call that, by the way, so I think that they're pretty sure that they're correct in their challenge.
Yeah, this is always that point in the match where you try to read body languages, right?
Yeah.
What's Finn Kearney doing at the moment?
Exactly.
Does he have that guilty look on his face?
That's right.
Well, it's lived up to the billing this weekend.
Times 2.
Neither team at full strength. Of course, Hawaii missing such a huge piece on its side in Christian Tatriski. But this freshman has filled in, and he has at times mesmerized. It has been, dare we even say, with that left-handed swing coming up in some big moments, Cox-esque. Just when you squint your eyes,
yeah,
you just see a little bit of that from time to time here. As the call will stand, it'll be a point for Hawaii. And it'll be 22 serving 17, so another kill for Finn. What a serve, forces the overpass, played by Neusterer. Rosenthal to Kurt, and he chooses violence.
And Kurt Neusterer continues to have the offensive match of his life against the number 1 or 2 blocking team in the country.
Oh, the serve by Rohr into the string, but a good run there behind the line for Adrian Rohr. Kurt Neusterer, meanwhile, tying his season and career high with 9 kills. in early January. Here's Nikolov to serve. Sends it out. And they'll stand up again. Hawaii is a point away from forcing a fifth.
And Mystery gets a big hug from Milan Zarkovic.
And it is Kainoa Wade into serve. Nikolov gonna shoot it to the middle. What a set there to Ben Braun. There aren't too many guys that would have the skill, let alone the audacity to do what Moni Nikolov just did.
And he's setting it to a guy who's 6'11". Moni, I think, is around closer to 6'10", at least. So he just fires it on a line. Tough to block.
Still aloha ball for Hawaii in the fourth. Rosenthal goes against the grain. Kearney! His 16th put down. And on senior night, in front of a sold-out crowd, the #1 Beach and the #4 Bows will take it to a decisive fifth.
Now, for a limited time.
Welcome back. Doesn't get much better than this, huh, C-Max?
Oh, this is the best. And look at the lights in the arena. The fans are into it. To the sounds of Journey.
Don't stop believing. That actually has applied here this weekend for the Hawaii fans. Last night, Rainbow Warriors down 0-2. Won the third. Came oh so close to forcing a fifth on night one. And here they are after having trailed 2-1. They claim set 4, 25-19. Hawaii hits 583 in the fourth.
Unbelievable. The only person who might not be happy that this match is going on and it's just so long and just so wondrous, Billy Hall. Because he's going to miss his deadline.
And so this crowd trying to show some faith and belief here in this Rainbow Warrior squad. It has been yet another Long Beach State and Hawaii classic. So going to a fifth set here, this is going to be the fourth time that Hawaii plays a five-setter. They are 3-0 in the previous five-set matches. For Long Beach State, this is just the second time they've had to go five. They went five back on January 26th when they were on the road at Pepperdine.
Remember who the last hero in a five-gamer against Harvard was? Finn Kearney. So challenges remaining. Each coach gets one challenge back. Charlie Wade has 3. Alan Knipe has 2.
Crowd being challenged to ramp up the noise, and they're obliging. This house has been rocking, and this passionate and dedicated fan base, and those who were able to get tickets, it was the hottest ticket in town for this weekend.
Do you think they've gotten their money's worth?
Yeah, I was going to say, that dedication paying off tonight, because they have been witness to yet another fantastic match and top-level Big West battle. And so here we go. Anything can happen in a 5th set. You throw all the other stuff out the window. And it's first to 15.
And guess what? These two teams can meet again here in 2 weeks.
So Hawaii going with the same lineup they went with to start set 4. Adrian Rohr remains out there. Kurt Neuster, who rolled his ankle in that last set, playing through it.
It must have been a very minor sprain, because he didn't even get retaped or anything by the trainer.
And so it will be Long Beach State, which will have honors here from the service line. And it's Moni Nikolov. Into the net.
And the crowd acts as if they won the point.
Well, they may have had something to do with it, who knows? 1 serving 0, it's Tread. Nikolov pulled off the net, goes high and away. Kirstenovic blocked and roofed! The Manoa Roofing Company strikes again! And it's Kurt Neuster playing on that bum ankle in the thick of things.
Hawaii now up to, they have 8 blocks now.
Nikolov has to traverse a long way there, and we're going to have a net violation committed by Hawaii. It was Neuster who got caught up in the string.
Oh, they would have had a free ball, Kanoa.
The kind of self-inflicted miscues that don't get you very far against the Long Beach State squad. Varga on the serve. Rosenthal sets up Rohr. Dug up by Nikolov, so Varga has to take on the set. Goes cross court, and Kondev mashes it off of the Hawaii block, and we're tied at 2.
Hawaii's got to be careful about Kondev. When he gets hot, it is red hot.
Varga, who has 3 aces here tonight. Handled by Choi. Here's Rohr. Dug up by Larson, so Nikolov outside, a little tight to the pin there. And it's going to be a net violation against Kondev. One of the rare location errors we've seen here from Nikolov this weekend. He just pushed it too far to the antenna.
Yeah, it was a very difficult ball to handle.
And now Adrian Rohr will serve. It's a good one. Varga going cross court. Kondev 3 blockers up, and he sends it out.
It all comes down to the serve forcing bad passes, which forces a set that's predictable.
Skips off the tape. Nikolov outside. Kondev through the block and out.
He is so good. You can't keep him down for too long. He might make one mistake, but he's really going to make 2 in a row.
And again, boos raining down on McCraven. Here's Saka, no goal!
What a set from Rosenthal as well. And Louis takes advantage. They took his cross court away, thinking he likes to go 4-to-4. Instead, he goes right down the line to area 1.
5-serving 3 here in the 5th. That one just creeps over the net. Hrstanovic going to two-hand it over. Advantage Hawaii. Rosenthal to Kearney. Dug up by Larson. Cross-court set. Condon.
Wow. What a block. What a rally. What a point.
Timeout, Long Beach State. Your scenario. It is 6-serving 3 in set 5. Kurt Neusterer back behind the service line. Took a little something off that time. Nikolov going backside. Hrstanovic going with a little love and tenderness that time, just softly touching it past that Hawaii resistance.
His off-speed shots and tip shots are so good. I bet he's about 90% on all those shots. What a show he's put on that way.
Just a sophomore from Toronto, Canada, but he will give way here to Georgi Bainev, who we saw last time he came in as a service sub, deliver back-to-back aces. Played previously at Long Beach City College, 4-serving 6. Choi handles it. Rosenthal goes back row, and Rohr has it sent back.
Not one Long Beach State blocker was fooled by that attack.
Yeah, they were loaded up.
Yeah, they were loaded. They knew it was going into the back row quick. And poor Rohr had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was Ben Braun getting the big chunk of that one. Backside, here's Kearney. And he is lava hot. Ties his season, thus career high, which he reached last night. 17 kills for the second straight evening for Finn Kearney, hitting .387.
Big numbers.
And now the serve. It's a good serve. Nice chase down there on the second touch. Condell. Hawaii with the advantage. Rosenthal outside. Louis trying to go line and misses wide. And Long Beach State gets the point when Hawaii had the scales tilted in its direction.
Wow, that really surprises me that Louis didn't try to either tool the block or hit it deep court.
How about Choi falling to the ground on the serve and then
Some miscommunication there for Hawaii. Advantage Beach. Varga dug up by Choi, but only momentarily. Net violation called against Hawaii anyway, and we are tied at 7.
The 6-3 lead has disappeared.
Oh, it went away fast.
The Beach playing some good volleyball right now. Much cleaner volleyball.
Outserved though by Kondev. Hawaii gets to number 8 on the scoreboard, and the teams will swap ends here in set 5.
And no media timeout. They'll start playing right away.
Are you not entertained?
I can't tell you how many people on the mainland right now, where it's 1 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast, and there are a lot of people watching. So kudos to you folks out there, you volleyball nuts. I'm just glad you're being entertained with some pretty good volleyball.
Well, Hawaii flatlining it here in the 5th. Long Beach State hitting 111. You're getting the feeling it's almost like two endurance runners just struggling to try to crawl across the finish line here at the end of a long race. Sakonoko loops it over. Nikolov surveys the floor, now goes backside. Herstanovic tried to cut it cross court and misses wide.
A rare error from the big guy.
And we may have a challenge here. So Alan Knight going to challenge that. Hawaii committed a net violation there on that sequence. And this could be also potentially strategic, right? It works like a timeout. Each team getting that extra challenge that you previously had referred to, C-Mac.
He's got 2 challenges. If he wants to use one of them up now. I don't think he'll use the next one very frivolously. Let's see if there's a close to a net violation. Not even close to a net violation. This has got to be a quick resolution of this. That was used, I think, as a timeout.
Well, we have seen some battles between these two programs, and this one living right up to that previous hype. It was a weekend that was circled on the calendar before the season even started, when it was first revealed that Hawaii was going to be hosting Long Beach State in its regular season series. You see Charlie Wade perhaps trying to solicit some divine intervention here down the stretch.
This will be their hardest 6 points to get this year.
Call and point upheld, by the way. So here we go. 9 serving 7. It's Louis behind the line. Again, making sure he gets it in. Outside, Varga able to rattle the cage.
He's been up against a pretty big block there. 6'9" Todd, 6'11" Rosenthal. Here's the guy who had 2 aces last night. Got to watch, really respect his serve.
Yeah, the lefty serve of Ryan Peluso with a good pass by Rohr. Descent Kearney through the block, dug up by Peluso, and it's Trevor Rosenthal providing the punctuation mark.
And here comes Neustrer back into the front row.
And Kainoa Wade back behind the service line.
And Moni Nikolov front row for the Beach.
Good serve there, but a great pass by Varga. Back row! Neustrer says, ole!
Kurt Neustrer is having a career in one night.
Timeout Beach! Neustrer saving some of his best for senior night.
Now for a limited time.
6 blocks. He has been unbelievable tonight. Out of the timeout. Outside, it's Varga. Dug up by Wade. Played off the net, but only momentarily by Neusterer as Louis Sakanoko goes diving into the signage across the way. And Long Beach State gets the point out of the timeout. So Nikolov rotates back behind the service line, and he will serve. 9 serving 11 in set 5.
Hawaii passing with 4 players. Aleo Choi passing the most court.
And Choi able to knock it straight up. High and away, it's Rohr. 3 blockers against him, and he is eclipsed. But he's able to save it. McCraven go with the free swing, and he gets it down. I think they're going to call a double contact against Hawaii anyway. It was kind of a funky touch in the middle of that sequence.
Oh, calling for the double contact happened before the net violation. Hawaii was going to challenge if there wasn't a double contact. They were going to ask for a net violation.
I think the problem was the official is calling the double contact, but didn't blow the whistle at the moment of the double contact.
Ah, you're right.
And so we're going to have a challenge of some sort here, but we're going to have to sort out exactly what the call was. It appears as though the R1 Troy Gravitt was signaling that there was a double contact that was committed. And there's a lot of confusion across the way here.
Well, you know, the double contact is not a double contact until it goes over to the other side. So Gravitt had to wait until the ball got up near the net where McCraven hit the overpass. And that's when so actually the whistles were simultaneous. If they blew a whistle for the net violation, it would be simultaneous double contact and net violation. How about that?
So this is the finish on the play. So they're looking for
right
a net
there.
violation.
Touched it right there. Yep.
McCraven following through. There is definitely a net violation there.
This is a big call. Looks like it's either going to be 12-9 or stay at 11-10.
Again, the confusing aspect of that was at the end of that point, Troy Gravitt was signaling to the Hawaii side that there was a double contact that occurred in the point. And so Charlie Wade needed clarification because he wanted to know if he was able to challenge the net violation, which he is.
Right. Well, what's ironic, though, it is not a double contact until the ball is going to be going over the net, because you can double contact the ball on your own side of the net and be just fine. As soon as it becomes, you know, a play for the other team on the other side, then it becomes the double contact. So the net violation literally occurred almost simultaneously with the double contact call. If I was referee, though, I'd call the double contact before, because it crossed the net, before McCraven made the net violation.
Yeah, I'm no professional lip reader, but it looked like Vieira's McCraven just let out a my bad to his teammates. So I think he knows he clipped the tape, and now it's just a matter of if Wayne Lee agrees with his assessment.
Yeah. You know what's going to happen, Canoa? I think that if Charlie wins this particular challenge, I think we might see Knight re-challenge and say, I think the double hit was before the net violation.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, it's been a scene here in Manoa tonight. Second straight sellout. It's the first time we've had consecutive regular season sellouts for men's volleyball since 1996. Those were the early days of the arena, if you recall, right?
Yeah.
The Special Events Center, which opened in 1994. And they were selling out a bunch of Rainbow Wahine volleyball matches. That was men's basketball. Remember, that was around the time of Anthony Carter and Alika Smith.
Yep.
And so they were getting a bunch of sellouts. You had men's volleyball at that time with Yuval Kotz and company selling out the arena. So it was great to see this accomplishment here this weekend for Hawaii.
They're ruling that the double contact occurred before the net violation.
So I believe that is the correct judgment.
Yes, it was.
And so here we have Moni Nikolov again to serve. The lead is 1 for Hawaii. Into the net.
Nikolov with 5 service errors out of their 25.
12 serving, 10. Rosenthal to serve. Into the string. And the guy who has been the most difficult server to deal with tonight for Hawaii. Now back there for the beach. Skylar Varga. Pass by Rohr that drifts over the net. And it is hammered down by Kondev, and we are tied at 12.
Skylar Varga has caused Hawaii's passers so much trouble.
Oh, Hawaii was sitting in a prime position, up 12-10 with the serve. Rosenthal sends it into the net. You have that overpass forced on the Varga serve, and here we go. Now it's a race to 3 here, C-Mac.
Yeah.
Hawaii calling for a timeout.
This is living true to the form of a Hawaii Long Beach State match, as we saw earlier tonight with, in case you didn't see it, with all the matches that Alan Knipe and Charlie Wade have played against each other, and there's a lot of them, there's only 30 points difference in the two teams.
That's unbelievable.
Like 1,500 points, 1,530 to 1,500, something like that. It's a crazy number.
All right, let's check in with Ryan. What's up?
Hey, thanks, Cornell. Well, Alan Knight, the head coach for Long Beach State, really trying to talk to his team about trying to let all this distraction, all this noise, all the crowd and all the noise that's being made, and really just get his team to focus on what they need to do. He's saying there is a lot of time for us. We have to just play our brand of volleyball, continue to play block defense, and not let us get so caught up in the emotions of this game. On the Hawaii sideline, Charlie Wade talking to Tread Rosenthal about spreading the offense, trying to get his setter to go pin to pin and not necessarily rely on the middle attack, which includes the pick and the middle sets because of the Long Beach State blocking scheme. He wants his setter to extend these sets out to the pins. Back over to you guys.
I agree. Good call, Charlie.
Here we go.
Make those Long Beach State's blockers will work a little bit. But they are really good.
Maximum drama here in Manoa. 12 serving 12 in the 5th. Rosenthal going to go high and away to Kearney. Dug up by Larson. Chased out of the official scorers table by Nikolov. And a free chance here for Hawaii. Backside, Rohr. Dug up by Nikolov. Was that a foot save? And we play on. Hawaii again with the advantage. It's Neusterer. Off the block. Hand out.
By much.
And a new career high in kills for Kurt Neusterer. He has 10 on senior night. 13 serving 12 in the 5th. Adrian Rohr sends it long.
Well, I have been serving so much better tonight than last night, up until the last 2 or 3 points.
Oh, this is maximum drama, maximum anxiety here for this sold-out crowd. Hillis on the serve. Backside, here's Kearney blocked. The cover there by Rohr. Again, it's Kearney. Dug up there by Nikolov, so the set goes high and away. Kondev skips it off the block, punched up in the air by Rohr. Here's Louis. Sends it deep and in. We're going to have a a challenge here on that in-out call. But do they have a challenge? They had one left. Tread Rosenthal was arguing that Long Beach State didn't have a challenge, but they do have one left. And so they will challenge the in-out call there. That was an unorthodox approach there by Sakonoko. Tried to just touch it deep. Line judge R1 called it in. What do you think?
Oh, that looks very close. Might have caught the back half of the white line. It's hard to tell in that look right there.
Right there, blurry ball, blurry line. What you got?
Yeah. Like I said, we need someone with the stigmatism to make this call.
It is amazing how popular we get here at our broadcast table when we have these replay reviews going on. We got James Anastasiadis. He's running over. He's looking over our shoulder. We have every fan in the area who's trying to take a peek as well. But right now, so much rests on the judgment of that guy right there, Wayne Lee. It is either going to be aloha ball for the match for Hawaii, or it'll be aloha ball for the match for Long Beach State.
There's a better look. That looks like it might have caught the line.
The call was in, remember. So is there enough evidence to overturn it? Here we go.
After review,
it stands. And this crowd will stand. Aloha ball for the Rainbow Warriors.
10,000 people stand as one.
And it's going to be Kai Taylor to serve for Hawaii. Gets it in. Pass by Vargas on the money. Varga from the back row. The net slowed it down. Roar. High balls into Sakonoko. And he finds the floor. And Hawaii wins it in 5. It is pandemonium in Manoa as the Rainbow Warriors rise to victory in 5 on senior night.
Wow.
Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. Skylar Varga was outstanding. 14 kills at 480, 3 blocks, 4 digs, 3 aces. The seniors are going to get the nod. Kurt Neusterer had one of the greatest performances of his life. And Hawaii will be able to have a senior night celly after taking down the #1 team in all the land.
And you got to give credit, I think, Kanoa, to the 7th man tonight, or let's call it the 10,000th man. And the creativity of the fans tonight, of their signs, the noise they made, the way they got behind the Warriors when they were down. I think you cannot say enough about the crowd, what difference they made. And in 2 weeks, hopefully they'll show up again, because this was really entertaining.
And these two Titans could match up again in 2 weeks in the Big West Championship Tournament. The seniors will get the love for good reason, but how about some of the underclassmen? Freshman Finn Kearney ties his career high with 17 kills. Adrian Rohr, 9 kills. Louis Sakonoko, 9. Kainoa Wade with 7 kills to contribute off the bench tonight for Hawaii. So we will give way here to the post-game show and thus the senior night celebration. C-Mac, this was a lot of fun.
This is great. I'll see you in 2 weeks, Kanoa, for the Big West Championships.
So stay tuned. Senior night celebration here. Rainbow Warriors get win number 23, and they and Long Beach State once again tied atop the Big West Conference standings. Catch your breath. Don't go anywhere. The symbolic aloha to the seniors when we come back. But for now, for Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy.